episode of the Innovator Spotlight with the Ghana Innovation Journal. My name is Ammishaddai Ofori, and as always, I'm super excited because we have another guest joining us today. If you are in Ghana, you've probably heard about this person, but even if you haven't, you've heard about the space that they operate in. Web3 blockchain. A lot of people are yet to grasp the concept of these topics, but we have a CEO joining us today who makes the concept of Web3 and blockchain easy to understand and also to get you started on any of the businesses in this sector. My guest today is none other than Eric Annan, who is the CEO of Aya. Help me welcome Eric. Eric, welcome. It's good to have you.
Thank you so much, Ofori. I'm good to be here, and thanks for the invitation to interact and have a conversation with the audience and the community. Thank you for having me.
It's a total pleasure, Eric. And can you just give us a quick description of who you are? Maybe give us some fun facts about you and also Aya and how you started.
Oh, that's an interesting question. So my name is Eric Annan. I'm Ghanaian by birth. I consider myself to be an African by identity, which
Okay.
is giving. So I had all my training, my schooling, everything here in Ghana. Immediately after university, my university days was quite interesting one because it was
Okay.
muffled with a lot of things. I was involved in student activism, student politics, and other things, national
Okay.
politics, and what have you. But back in 2014, I decided to take a backseat to reflect to see beyond the two major industries in Ghana, enterprise in Ghana, which is politics and perhaps religion. What other areas can we unlock value? And that's and got me to kind of ask serious questions about why, how, when, where, and that got me into taking a major drastic personal mission to discover my good self, to discover who I was going to be, and in those parts, I enabled me to meet an amazing people in the world. And a friend of mine in university, and I mean, directed me to travel with him to Abuja, Nigeria, and
Okay.
the goal was just to stay in Abuja for just 2 weeks. It ended up to be about 6 months, and then came
Okay.
back, and then I lived in Abuja for 6 years. And those 6 years was quite growth, quite interesting
Mm,
discovery. And I
mm,
would always say Abuja is my second home. An amazing,
okay.
beautiful city, well-planned city. And
Mm,
one key thing is that great people are, I mean, around the world, in Africa especially. So yeah, that's basically about me. I'm very
okay.
curious, very resilient in my mind,
Mm,
and I keep on changing the details if the fact changes. I'm not stick to one fact. Once the fact no more as I held yesterday, I change it and I move
okay.
with a new fact. So that's basically brief about me. And
Mm.
yeah,
The ever evolving Eric, thank you so much for sharing that. And it's good to know that you also had an experience in Abuja and that has also influenced your journey. How about Aya? Can you tell us a bit about Aya and how you got started?
oh wow, that's an interesting one. So um, I've done a few things in the space. I was introduced to blockchain back in 2016 by a very interesting gentleman I met was in Abuja. But
Mm,
that journey would be one that will be bittersweet, I would say.
okay.
It didn't end the way it was expected because at the time you didn't know anything. You got into something that was so interesting and you were
Mm,
so excited, so exuberant, and I mean, a lot of things went wrong.
okay.
Um, Friends and so many things went, but I didn't give up. So I
Mm,
founded the first OTC platform in Africa. I would say in Africa because at the
oh,
time,
really?
um, OTC that over the counter trade, and this
Yes.
OTC platform was called Digital Kudi. So Digital Kudi was my first platform that I created back in
Okay.
2017, selling Bitcoin and Ethereum in Nigeria. And for sometimes people that knew me in Ghana would ask me to buy Bitcoin. And
Mm,
interestingly, there is a crypto company that is doing so well today in the world and especially in Africa called Yellow Card. So
Yes.
I bought my first Bitcoin from the founder of Yellow Card, called Chris Morris,
Whoa.
back in 2017. He had not even come to Nigeria with Yellow Card at the time, but some way somehow the universe connected us, and I kind of interestingly got my Bitcoin from Chris Morris, and I got to Nigeria. So I knew Chris Morris and was well. I think he has been an amazing guy and done a lot of things. Fast forward, Digital Coding metamorphosized into a new company that I co-founded called Cubitex. I found out that I'm some incredible human beings. That the point is that it also didn't scale, didn't move the way we wanted. It failed, but the
Okay.
failure was what really kind of put me to the global pedestal to say, do you fail back or do you fail forward? And I decided to fail forward, and that's what got us into Aya. So Aya is a combination of different lessons, different experiences. And as a founder, one of the key reasons why we failed in my previous startup, that was the first in Africa to even work with stellar and amazing crypto global companies, and even went ahead to partner with the biggest payment company in Africa called InterSwitch. I feel like we were on the right track. We had
Okay.
everything right. We had everything going until the part of human, the part of people came in. So I decided to solve the human problem, because I think one of the major challenges we find in Africa is that everybody wants to be everything, but nobody wants to do the thing. Everybody wants to be everything, but nobody
Everybody
wants to do the
wants to
thing.
be everything, but no one wants to do that thing. Okay.
Yeah. So I decided to solve the human problem, which is how do we create a society or a community where we really conscientize and liberate people from their mind. Because the lack and the poverty in Africa, it is not lack of nothing, scarcity. It's a lack of the mind. The mind is not exposed to embracing new things and taking on new challenges that push you out to do things that are uncomfortable, because great things come from being uncomfortable. And we always want to be comfortable whilst we are lacking to explore. So I would say Aya is a combination of all my pains and joy, and it fuse it together, and then we have Aya. And Aya just was not a name that I had to struggle for. I woke up and I slept and I had a dream that your next adventure, you need to call it Aya. And then I went into history. I was like, oh, apparently Aya is part of my culture. Aya is part of my heritage. Aya is part of who I am. I'm an Asante man, and I'm proud to be an Asante man. I'm proud to be from as an Asante person. But of course, I don't
Yeah.
put it in the face of people, because I feel like I'm Ghanaian by blood, but I'm African by identity. I don't want to be
Okay.
called Ghanaian. I don't want to be called an Asante. I don't want to be called an African. An African
Yeah.
because I'm African before being Asante. So Aya was like, oh, this is the thing. Aya means, the original name meaning for Adinkra symbol Aya means endurance and resourcefulness. But I
Okay.
know
Okay.
as an entrepreneur, you don't want to go by the name endurance. You don't want to endure. How long can you endure? So I substituted endurance to resilience, because I
Okay.
believe that resilience is one thing that we have to commercialize, because every African wake up with one bit of resilience. Every African is resilient. You're resilient. The reason why I feel Africans are resilient, because you wake up, you don't have like electricity, you don't have water to drink, your roads are bad, yet you don't see people mad on the street. You don't see people crying. You don't see people with mental health issues. Believe in me, I've done a bit of travel, and I will tell you, if the kind of madness we see here, the kind of poor services we see here, the kind of how we don't treat human beings as human beings, if it happened to be anywhere else in Africa or beyond Africa, I tell you, the kind of mental problems you see in the hospital every day will be enormous. So if you don't get these things, I think we are blessed people, and therefore resilience is something that really encapsulates and um, show our true ability. So Aya to us means resilience and resourcefulness. So that's the
Okay.
meaning of Aya. And Aya is just on a mission. Simply, our mission is very noble. We're not here to speak all the English. We are having one simple mission to
Okay.
deliver. We are creating a bridge that connects the African builder community to global opportunity through our platform to empower young people to become co-creators in the global economy. Because I believe that, look, we have data that support our case. We are 1.4 billion people today. By the end of, by 2050, we are likely to be 2.5 billion people, more than India and China combined. We have the youngest population in the world. As of today, the average median age in Africa is about 18 years. If you go to China, if you go to America, the average median age is about 30 years. So by the end of this century, Africa will not only have the largest population, but will have the most active, young, active, agile workforce to supply the world. What we are not doing there, however, is creating a system that equip them, empower them to be value creators. We are producing, people out of school that don't even know what is simply ChatGPT. People don't even know. People are doing computer science in most parts of Africa, and they don't even know, program language called Golang or Solidity or Rust. They are still stuck to old Ruby and stuff. Some are doing computer science in Africa, and they cannot even write simple line of code.
True.
So we are on this mission to kind of convert these students from the classroom to the boardroom by equipping them and giving them the right skills, abilities to be able to stay in Ghana, stay in Kenya, stay in Nigeria, stay anywhere in Africa, and be able to offer value via the internet borderlessly. Because we believe that you don't need to travel to the Americas, to the European countries to have a better life. You can stay here, eat your fufu, eat your akwele, eat your amala, eat your ogali, and still be able to provide value to the global economy. And that's the mission that Aya is on, and we'll be on this journey for the last 3 years, and we're just barely starting.
I love it. I love it. And you've spoken like a true African. Thank you so much for sharing that, Eric. I got on this call expecting a very technical conversation today, but I love how you've broken it down, especially addressing the challenges that we face here in Africa and how you are looking to solve it. And yes, I know Aya is involved with Web3 blockchain, but from the very simple definition that you gave us, you are simply equipping Africa's youth to leverage on building blocks of technology to be able to seize what's out there and opportunities out there. So now you have identified it as Web3 and blockchain. Do you feel like Aya might move on to other forms of technology if new ones evolve?
That's a great question. So I have a belief that. So let me put the disclaimer. I don't write code. I did banking and finance in the university. I did my master's in development communication. So after my degree, I formed a company in Ghana in 2014 called a microfinance company, because my background is purely, I'm a micro person. I believe that you cannot talk about macro without the micro.
Okay.
There's no development without first tackling the micro. The minutest part of our society needs to be tackled before we begin to talk about the big numbers. And so thinking about that, it kind of let us begin to look at things from a very, very bottom-up approach.
Okay.
So I am of the conviction that technology really is nothing without people. No technology can work without human beings. So we don't have to kind of reinvent the wheel. How do we prepare the human being to be able to use the tools that in technology enable us to kind of make our work easier, right? Technology itself doesn't work. ChatGPT itself cannot work if human beings are not involved. And so our mission are very static. I'll emphasize, we are very stubborn on our mission, but very flexible in the details. So our mission is very simply preparing the African talent, the African actor, to be globally competitive, to be able to match up with the talent we have in India, to match up with the talent you have in China, to match up with the talent in New York or San Francisco. However, in terms of the details, yes, today we believe that the Web3, blockchain, crypto provide us an incentive, a pathway to leapfrog. It provides us a very quick and smart way to do so much with little. However, if tomorrow the details changes, we are not going to say, oh, because you are doing this, we are not going to look at it again. Facts continue to evolve. Things continue to evolve. But our mission to equip the African talent, the African actor, we are very, very stubborn on that. We don't know, we are not going to change from it. But in terms of how to achieve it, we are very flexible and we look at data and then corresponding facts behind the data. I was like, okay, guys, can we look into this? So I'll give an example. When we started off Aya, we had no plan whatsoever to ever have a physical space because I am very firm believer of remote work. I'm a very strong advocate of remote and borderless opportunities. Am I on? Ofori, you're not online. I don't know if I'm still on.
Yes, Eric, sorry about that. Please go on. So when you started, you were saying?
Yes, we had no intention to have any physical space when we started Aya because we believe that remote work is the future. Working remotely was here with us, and we didn't have any plan. Everything that we've done in the last 3 years has been virtual. Virtually, we've exposed over 8,000 Africans to blockchain technology. Virtually, we've trained over 150 blockchain talents. Matter of fact, one of the talent that we trained worked with Innovation Spark. Elam Ofori. Yes, I met Elam Ofori about 2 years ago at Yota. I was invited by one amazing lady called Akosia, and that's why I met Elam and her sister, Yaira. And by a stroke of magical something, we had a conversation. And I just challenged her. I said, look, don't limit yourself. Look into tech. Tech is not just about coding. There are several entry points. Yeah, you want to go into it. Don't fear. Today, I see her doing YouTube interviews, and I'm amazing. We believe that we want to unlock people's, deep mind to see their own potential inside them before they expose. So, Elam is one of the Aya products that we train for product management. And I would dare say that she's one of the amazing talent that came out of Ghana. We trained 150 people, at least only 3 people have come from Ghana. Elam, there's another lady who wrote a book called The Tech Hustle. The name just escaped me. But I'll say that this is what we are doing. We did everything virtual. But today, as I say to you, Ofori, we have secured a permanent space in Ghana, Accra here, to convert millions of people from idle hand to productive hand, called the Aya Hacker House. So the Aya Hacker House is going to be open next month, and this home is going to be a home for young people to vibe, to connect, to exchange ideas, to co-stay, co-live, and be able to have imaginative thinking, where they can be able to innovate using blockchain technology, so that we want to expose these guys to global opportunities. But we believe that getting them together unlock different opportunities. Because you know what? I'm an African. In Africa, we do well through communities. We are more communal. We are more like together. We believe in seeing, connecting. So virtual works so much in terms of the numbers, but in terms of qualitative, managing the outcome, physical play a lot more for us. So even though we're very, very strong and believe that we were not going to have any physical space, but today the fact changed, but the vision has not changed. It's still the vision, but how to achieve the outcome, we continue to evolve. And today, this interview, I'm here in the Aya Hacker House, which is still under works, and hopefully by the end of the month, we should have at least the first phase ready, where I want to invite you to come and have a look at and see how together we can co-create and change the narrative. Because I believe that Ghanaian young people, the Ghanaian talent, the Ghanaian mind is not lazy. It just has to be exposed to something that is uncomfortable for them to be ready for it. Because look, government cannot do anything for you. You have to do anything for yourself. And that's the truth. So let's wake up from our sleep and then take the challenge on ourselves because that's the only way. Nigerian young people are doing it. And so I see no reason why you should be here using your phone and all you do is listening to gossip. And from morning to evening, all you do is radio, entertainment, politics, all these things. Once you can use your phone to learn a skill that will pay you in dollars. In dollars. We have enabled young people earning more than $10,000. I mean, monthly. Some earning $10,000 monthly, some earning $5,000 monthly, $500 monthly. If you have earning $500 monthly, chief, today, a chief director in some ministry don't earn up to $500 a month. The reason why they are surviving is because of what you and not know. So you have opportunity to change this narrative. You have opportunity to sell your skill, to export your skill without traveling out of your country. Look, there's everything here. You don't need to be in America to enjoy life. You can enjoy life if you have the right skill. So I challenge young people that yes, it's good to travel, but if you have the right skill, you don't need to be in America because their food is not really good. Yeah. You are here, you are eating fufu, you are eating konkonte, red. So this is where the real vibe is. Good music, good food, good weather. But of course, I understand economic situation is making people move. But if you have the right skill, you don't need to move to America or Germany or UK. Stay here, earn dollars, and enjoy life here.
Amazing. I should change the title of today's conversation to how African youth can rise up. Eric, thank you so much for all these comments. If you are just joining, my name is Ammishaddai Ofori. I'm with the Innovation Spark, and today we are interviewing Eric Annan, who is the CEO of Aya. We have just talked a bit about his background, how he started, how he got into tech, and what Aya is about, what they represent. He has stated emphatically that they are stubborn about their mission, but they are flexible about their approach. Thank you so much, Eric, for sharing. I also just, because Aya is playing in the blockchain and Web3 space now, I just want you to touch a little on that. So what are the use cases you see for Africans in blockchain and Web3? Where are the opportunities that you see for young people?
That's a great question. So oftentimes when I go to places and people ask, oh, that blockchain is a scam. Oh, that blockchain thing, that thing, cryptocurrency. So everybody, I mean, so, and I get it. I understand. Perfectly, people are right in their own way, right? Nobody's right, nobody's wrong. So if you don't understand somebody, you may feel like they are not, they are wrong or they are right. So I've come to a point where I don't really kind of question people or kind of no, you're wrong. No. It's about shaping narrative.
Okay.
So if you got to crypto back in 2016, 2017,
yes,
there were a lot of scams. I was burnt. I mean, there are people in this country that back in 2017, I'll fly in with my own resources. I'll rent a place in Holiday Inn, and I'll decide to kind of give them knowledge, educate people. That project turned out to be white elephant. Initially, it was exciting, but towards the end, it turned out to be scam. I didn't know. I was excited as well as anyone who introduced me to it. But the way it turned out to be very, very sweet bitter, right? And I know how much I lost in terms of friends, in terms of resources, in terms of my own savings, and friends between you and people taking advantage and even taking advantage and even defrauding you. I remember buying a land from someone that today, as we speak, is in Parliament, and it turned out to be a fraud. This guy sold a land that was not real. He took my money for $7,000. When I decided to push forward, he told me, I can do anything I want to do. Well, I'm just a citizen. Well, how can I do to a politician? I let it go. I mean, so people are right when they say blockchain, crypto is a scam. People are right. Okay. I have a stubborn on relentless conviction. So when I believe in something, I may fail, it may fail, but I don't give up. So I didn't give up, even though I lost everything I saved. I lost everything 2017, 2018. I didn't give up on the technology. You know why I didn't give up? I'll
Why?
tell you today. Blockchain is the only technology that provides every African an opportunity to be included in the financial intermediation in the world.
Oh,
I
really?
repeat, blockchain is the only technology today. You can quote me anywhere. It's the only technology today that enable any African to be included in the global financial intermediation. Ask me why and how. It's very
Why,
simple.
Eric?
We are in this world. We have used the financial tool that we all know. How many? Let me ask a question. How many banks in America have offices in Africa? None. We all trade in the world using the American dollar, right? I hope I'm still live. I hope I'm still live. Hello? Still there? Am I still there?
Hi, Eric. Sorry about that.
I thought it was my end.
Yes. So you said, why is everyone in Africa able to connect?
Yeah. So I'm saying that blockchain is the only technology that enable every African to be included in a global financial system. And here is why. Number one,
Mm-hmm.
paper has been here since 1998. See
Mm-hmm.
today, in Ghana, you cannot use paper.
You can't, no.
And I tell you, paper is the biggest financial innovation in the world.
Mm.
If you're in Ghana, you are excluded. Not only in Ghana, most African countries cannot use paper.
Yes.
How many American banks are in Africa? And yet, you cannot trade globally without the dollar.
Mm-hmm.
So the question is, if the dollar is the global currency that everybody trade with,
Yes.
and it cannot use certain financial institutions like paper, how does that answer inclusion?
Mm-hmm.
So all the noise you hear, financial inclusion from World Bank, from this, it's lip service. None of them is actually interested to include you and African.
Mm.
The blockchain from day one, ever since Bitcoin was innovated or invented in 2008,
Mm-hmm.
and the first block mined in 2009, from day one, from the onset, everybody in the world was involved.
That's good. Okay, love it.
That's number one. Number two, the blockchain provides you and I the opportunity to
Mm.
rewrite the mistrust and distrust and untrust of every African.
Mm.
Number three, the blockchain also provides us an opportunity to
Mm-hmm.
unlock the over $20 trillion of economic value that we have in Africa. Talk of
Mm.
uranium, talk of
Lithium
lithium,
now.
talk of cobalt, talk of gold. We can. There's something new on the blockchain called real world asset tokenization. As I speak
Mm.
to you today, the biggest global fund manager, BlackRock, has entered the real world asset tokenization era. Matter of fact, they've set up their own tokenization fund, started with $100 million on a go. And we are still in Africa, and all you hear is, oh, I don't want to hear about blockchain, it's a scam. Oh, because yes, cryptocurrency is money, and people always, there are nefarious actors. Let me tell you, the fiat currency, the cedi, the dollar, the yuan, the pound, the biggest financial fraud in the world goes through fiat currency, not through crypto. The biggest money laundering is in fiat, it's in dollar, it's in American dollar, it's not in crypto. The data is there to show. But because you were scammed because you wanted to get quick money, you were promised 100% profit, which I fell for it. Most of us fell for it. And so people have closed their mind from the technology, what the technology can do. They are only looking at the one side, which is the product. Blockchain is not crypto. Crypto is not blockchain. Crypto is one of the offering, one of the product or outcome of crypto, of blockchain.
Got it.
So when you hear people, blockchain, oh, crypto, I'm not interested, Bitcoin, blockchain, no. It's just like telling me that Facebook is internet. or YouTube is internet, or Snapchat is internet, or Telegram or WhatsApp is internet. Or let me just go.
That's internet for Ghana, isn't it?
So these are outcome. The underlying technology is the worldwide network that give you and that power you to be able to use this outcome, this product that has been built using on top of the internet protocol. Now the blockchain is the underlying technology that is empowering real world asset tokenization, digital identities or decentralized identities, cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin, Ethereum, and maybe tomorrow we'll have AYA token. It's going to be powered by the blockchain.
There we go.
Right? Tomorrow, as I shoot you, there are more than 100 different blockchains.
Yes.
The first blockchain is Ethereum. Bitcoin, is Bitcoin. The next programmable blockchain is Ethereum. Now, Ethereum, on top of Ethereum, we now have is an L1. On top of Ethereum, which is the L1, which is more like technically more expensive, congested. People have now built on top of Ethereum called the L2s. We have more than 20 different layer 2s today in the world, powering and enabling everyone in the world to be able to have access to financial tools. So we are sitting on an opportunity to reinvent our economic disparities using blockchain technology. And it doesn't have an end. We can use blockchain in our governance through our procurement, agriculture, transportation, hospital, and different way. Identities, we can write and build a blockchain identity that cannot be compromised. So therefore, for example, a country like Ghana, which is always cry about budgets, you end up every year hearing the Electoral Commission is doing registration. You have the Ghana NIA doing registration. I tell you, blockchain can kind of help us consolidate all these data points. And nobody can compromise that. So let me just define the blockchain. Blockchain is simply different block of layers stored that cannot be tempered, that cannot be changed by one single person. It cannot be corrupted, and it's trusted. So that is the power the blockchain provides. And therefore, people have to kind of begin to query the internet, ask more questions, and find out what can we use the blockchain for. Blockchain is not cryptocurrency. Let me emphasize. Cryptocurrency is not blockchain. Cryptocurrency is powered, it's one of the products of that can be created using blockchain technology.
Eric, thank you so much. This has been insightful. I'm telling you, we should have a part 2 and 3. Please definitely let us know when the AYA Hackerspace is started. We'll be happy to come and do the launch with you. For those who have joined, I've been speaking with Eric Annan. He's the CEO of AYA. They are on a mission to improve the African youth's life by exposing them to global opportunities. I've been speaking with Eric, and he's told us how Aya started his backstory. And unfortunately, our time is up, so we'll have to end here. But thank you all so much for joining. If you want to follow Eric and Aya, follow them at their website, www.ayahq.com. You can find out more about what they are doing. And we'll be sure to be at Aya when they are launching their new space next coming month. Eric, thank you so much. And we hope to have you join us again. Do you have
Thank
any
you so
last words?
much. Thank you so much. So I want to use this platform to invite Innovation Spark to be as a partner to something that we are organizing in June. So for the first time in Africa, for the first time in Ghana, we are organizing a 2 weeks, we call it pop-up city or pop-up village for over 100 developers all across Africa to come together. And it's going to
Okay.
include global mentors from China, from the US, all
Mm,
coming to Accra and
okay.
stay with these young people to engage them through workshop, through building, so that they can collaborate and co-live together. It's going to
Mm,
happen here in Accra.
okay.
It's starting from the 3rd of June to 16th of June. It's a two
Okay.
weeks stay together, free accommodation, free everything. And we
Mm,
invite every Ghanaian young mind
mm,
who has a bit of curiosity to apply. So go on Aya link, socials. You see Mu
okay.
Accra. Tap on it. The application is there. Application is still open until I think first week of May, so that you can
Okay.
have a spot. I'll reach out to you for Innovation Spark to be a partner to this amazing. And we are going to Ghana because we believe
Mm,
that Ghana provide an incentive, an
mm,
atmosphere where people can have peace of mind to kind of co-live together. And it's going to be the first ever in Africa, and Ghana is going to be the first country to host this global event here in Accra. And most of the activities happen in the Hacker House. So thank you very much for the opportunity, and I look forward to having most of this conversation and engagement. And the challenge is that if you're a young Ghanaian,
mm-hmm.
Aya is here for you. Come to the
Fantastic.
hacker house every day. Let's vibe. Let's go create. Let's connect and let's brainstorm an idea and build using technology like blockchain and make a lot of money. There's nothing wrong to make money, but you need to follow the process. Don't
Mm.
sidestep the process. Trust the process and always show up. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Eric. And we'll be seeing you in June for your 2 week boot camp. For those of you who just joined, I've been speaking with Eric Annan, who is the CEO of Aya, and he's been joining us on our Innovator Spotlights today. Thank you all so much for joining. Eric, thank you so much. We'll definitely see you for your 2 week boot camp. Thank you.
It's a pleasure. Thank you.